was caught up into, I don't know what it was, but I was caught up into something. I saw that in the spirit, there was like this international space station being built in the stratosphere. And I felt that one of the things that's happening is that there is a new stratosphere to build a platform for prophets and the prophetic. And I think you're integral to that. I think there is about to be an upgrade. I think it's connected with the galaxy word. That there is something that you're going to reach new galaxies, that you're going to go to these new galaxies. But I think that there is something on you this season for starting to gather the next level of, so I'm going to use this phrase, the Kansas City prophets. So there's something on you about starting to gather that next level of the sort of Kansas City prophet stuff. And I don't think it's Kansas City, I don't think it's related to a geographic thing. I think that's part of the stratosphere thing, is that it's bigger and higher and all that. But I do think there's something on you to start to gather this next generation. I believe that there were assignments and angels that were actually passed down to a new generation. So I know that you and I know that you know that I know that you know that you know all that kind of stuff with what yours is. And I do think that the whole John Paul Jackson thing is heavy upon you, and I think there's a new level for that. And I think there's a new level of writing and interpretation and impartation that's actually coming. And I think that's been handed down with a bunch of those guys. And even gals that were part of that company, and it might be time to start gathering them together for something that God is going to do for His nations and nations. So God, I just release that, bless them, thank you for Jamie, we love him, we want to see more and more and more. So, Emmanuel? Yeah. All right, so why don't you stand up? If you're Hey, Stephen, Colleen, would you actually go and lay hands on this guy as well? If he's okay with it, gently lay hands on him, it's all right. So, Emmanuel, I felt, so here's, I'm going to give you a little bit of background. This is, never lose an opportunity for a teaching moment. So when they saw Jesus and they thought he was a ghost, that sounds strange to us. When they saw Peter rapping the door and they thought it was his spirit or his ghost, that sounds strange to us. Within Jewish angelology, and that sort of went through for a long time, and I believe it's actually true. There is a belief that every family line, every 1,000 generation blessing has an angel assigned to it, and it looks like your family line. So I believe that you have an angel of blessing. I believe that you have a family line of blessings. And I think there have been strategic moments in this where the enemy has actually tried to thwart this, to try and even confuse the family line, to try and bring confusion into the family line of blessing. But I believe that, so your angel looks very like you. Yeah, you have an angel who looks very, very like you, and I think it is this family line of blessing. I'm not completely sure what it's for, but I think there's a gentleness in spirit with this angel. There is this gentleness of spirit that it carries. I would suspect that you're very caring, that you care about people, that you even have this slight sense of fairness, that you want things to be fair, and I think that's part of your family line and all this. But I think there's part of it that is about prosperity. There's a part of it that is about and I think that's part of where the attacks have come over the years, is that over the generations, not yours, but over the generations, is that there have been attacks to actually try and stop this prosperity. Because I think you're the kind of guy, when you have riches, you're going to use it for good. You're not going to use it, like, I think you can be trusted with the riches of the earth. I think that you have a heart that wants to use it for good and not just, buy benzos or anything like that, which is fine if you drive a Mercedes-Benz. But I just want to pray for you, if that's okay. I just want to pray for you and sort of restore, like that, build a little spiritual chiropractor, if that's all right. All right. So why don't you just stretch out your hands, and we should talk about the stretching out thing. That it's not the forces with you, right? We should talk about that and what you're doing. So anyway. So Father, I just take authority over every every attack that the enemy has launched against, every assignment that has been launched against this family line, this generational line of blessing. I take authority over it in the name of Jesus, and I pray for full restoration of everything that you have purposed from generations ago. There has been someone praying for you, Emmanuel. There has been someone praying for you. I don't know if it's a grandmother. I don't know if it's a grandmother or grandmothers, but there's been somebody praying for you since before you were born, since you were in your mother's womb. Somebody's been praying for you. And God, I just break any confusion that there has been over family line, over blessing, and ask that in the name of Jesus it would be fully restored. And God, I pray that you would give some promise, some indication of promise, even with a financial blessing. Like tonight, tomorrow, this week, that you would do something to indicate what it is you have for this guy in Jesus' name.